Hi again, YouTubers. Hello from Scotland in the UK. Once again, I'm doing another video. I wanted to do when I started this video up in this YouTube channel. Hold on, I'll turn this down. Get done. Anywho, I wanted to do it as I felt it. Now that I'm living pro-stroke, sorry. But this week has been not a good week. So, because I want to come on whether I'm at night time, whether it's 3 in the morning, whether it's 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, whatever way I am feeling, I want to share with the world. And thank you to all you have that have looked at my page. I have not so far, but you know, I will have a look at it. One of my dogs passed away on Monday past. His name is Johnny, and when I had my stroke, I had to let my ex-partner rather, long-term partner, and he had him when I had my stroke because my daughter couldn't take them all because one of them's a Great Dane and he was only 18 months. The other one was just 6 months older, a wee Tibetan poodle that my daughter had to take, and my wee dude, Cash, and you'll see the relation, Johnny and Cash. So I lost Cash last year, and I lost Johnny last Monday. So hence why I haven't been on. It was a terrible day. My temper, let's say, just got the better of me. I was in a good mood, trying to sort out stuff and all that. And then next thing I saw 3 sombre faces, my grandson being one of them. And I just couldn't believe it. And the best of it is we were making arrangements. I pulled out of going to see him the week before he passed. Because my cat's there as well, Kevin. I've had him, he's now nearly 24 years of age. Johnny was 13, just passed, and Cash was 12. They had a good innings, but I would have still loved to have seen Johnny, and I didn't even get to see him after he passed. My ex never thought to tell me. Anyway, that's the gist of it. But yesterday, back on to the stroke story that I haven't even touched on, I went to see my neurologist. Now it's the first time I've saw them since I had my stroke, and that was 2020. So he'd full of interesting information for me, which I wish to share with, yourselves. Anybody that's involved in this fucking bastard and bizarreness of what they call life, that we have to now proceed and go onwards regardless, fucking regardless. And I'm sorry about my language, and as I said in my last one, I don't mean to offend anybody on this stroke channel especially. I will be doing another channel and I'll be renaming it something else. But my neurologist had me diagnosed like that. As soon as I've got a lot of spasms in my right leg, especially, they all come on after I broke my hip That's another story. Oh, for fuck's sake, he couldn't make that up. Anywho, um, he said I was getting spasms, and sometimes when I'm sitting in the way I'm sitting, I don't want to move the camera and all that, but I'm sitting with my feet, my legs bent kind of thing, on the chair. So to look at me, you'd never think. I used to not be able to do that. When I used to talk to my physio, um, I'd be talking like that, and I wouldn't feel it. It'd be way up. And Audrey would say, put that shoulder down. And I'd be saying, what shoulder? And it would have to then push it down. And then it didn't feel any different to me. But anywho, it obviously was very different. So with the spasms, he wanted to know me, and it was quite, my daughter was with me. He just text me now. And she has recorded my stroke story right from when it started, not the going out the house and everything, with paramedics. I can't even remember that. I last remember trying to have a cigarette. Bad. Anywho, that's me. But she was there, and as I say, I tend to go way off my thought and I'm tired today. I was tired with the build up. See the build up of that appointment, and plus we thought it was Monday coming. So even with that, having the you know, it just burned energy, and it made me feel between Johnny passing that week and this appointment coming up for the first time, um, and it was that way where I couldn't process it. And then my daughter phoned me on what will be Tuesday, and said, by the way, it's tomorrow, which was yesterday. Oh, well, that was it. Maybe it was a good thing because I never had time to think about it anymore. I had to go. I couldn't get out of it. I was trying to get out of it. But I had to go. I had to find out what was going on in my body that I couldn't understand. And it had just started since this hip transplant. So it turns out the guy asked, my consultant rather, asked when these spasms start, and they start in my left hand now, and they start sometimes in my left leg, not so much when I'm walking, only when I'm sitting. But he said, do you ever bite your tongue? And, or do you ever lose a type of consciousness? He was suggesting a seizure. And it took a minute or so for the penny to drop between me and my daughter. And he said that it was imperative that we both answer this question properly. And he said that apparently, I said I didn't lose consciousness when this sudden tremoring started in my leg. It would just start for no apparent reason, and I mean going at 100 miles an hour. People will know what I'm talking about that suffered it, and are still suffering it, and it is so frustrating. It stops me from driving, which is a big goal of mine to get back. I've been driving since I was 17. I'm now 57. I had my stroke when I was 53, which is young. I don't even think of myself being that kind of age. I'm still what I am. You can't see me pointing and all that. Not got a bra on. So you're getting me whatever fucking way you get me. But yeah, yesterday he said as long as I was aware this was happening and I didn't bite my tongue while it was happening, he took my stroke leg under my heel, and he just kind of pressed it. Well, then did it not start to tremble? And he says, I know what's wrong. That I know exactly. He called a name beginning with C. My daughter was typing. She takes down, as I say, everything. I will post the videos of myself when I got out of hospital, because we had meetings and meetings about it. about my daughter not being able to, cope, because I was, 2 to 1 and all that caper. But it was COVID and it was horrendous. And I wanted out, she wanted me out, and we felt we would be better in lockdown as a family. And we'll take as it comes, as it comes. So the unknown, I had never had a stroke before. My daughter had never dealt with anybody, let alone her mother, who was always there for her, constantly. Mum's taxi, mum's babysitting, mum's, oh Lord, everything. But that, I'm her mum. That is meant to be the case in my book anyway. That is meant to be the case. They're yours. Regardless, she's 34 now. She was, well, do the math. So she's diagnosed quite a lot of things with her son and her daughter before the GP. And that was me, by the way, that was me getting a referral, not from my GP, but from my hip specialist. He saw me about 4 times over the last 2 months to make sure this was not my hip before he then he transferred me and referred me to the neurologist, or else I'd be still waiting for another 3.5 years. Probably wouldn't even get to see them. And I'm so pissed off with the whole lot of it anyway that I wouldn't bother. So what he suggested is, sadly, the Botox situation isn't up and running at the moment due to a technician, but apparently Botox for spasms into the muscle, especially people that have tried the medication, because the medication, as he referred to it, his words, poison. He does not like to give out, he's not a dishing out doctor. You know how you go to doctors, you haven't even began to speak and they're writing down a prescription for you. You have no idea what it is. You have no idea side effects. You've no idea withdrawal. But this man explained everything, and he had suggested Botox into the muscles. I'm getting assessed back, referred back to physio back in the hospital I was in, or the rehab facilitation, hopefully back to Eleanor. She was my first physio, and she was very old school. Audrey was new school, but Audrey was really good as well. They were all great. The older ones with more experience, obviously that speaks for itself. But you still had young ones coming in that took to, they knew what they were doing. And like everything else. So you can get medication for the spasms. You can get a different type of medication, or you can get the Botox injections. So Ellen is going to work out, or whoever is available that's, specialised, and you'll have to give my speech. I took diazepam before I come on here. So that was another thing he discussed, diazepam, about how it can make you too out of it kind of thing. And I was told by my first home detox, when I was addicted to painkillers, that Valium only freezes time. And the more you take it, the more, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't freeze time. But if you go to stop taking it, oh, it's no laughing matter. So fortunately, I myself have never chased Valium. And, I'm kind of going on to addiction. I did want to write a few keynotes down, because I didn't really mean to post that first video. That was just my first trial type of thing. And so I thought, why not do it now? And then I showed my daughter, I showed my grandson, and They'd said my daughter was going on about the crisp bag. Then you'll see it now. If you look back, you'll see the crisp bag. And if anybody wants to ask me any questions, believe me, I am open to whoever wants to ask the most personal questions of me, unless it's smut, which I mean, I wouldn't expect to get on this channel, but I dare say I will. And because I've been watching, remember, I'm in 7 days a week, apart from when I go to my stroke club. And I heard from lovely Stuart today, and that was really nice. So stroke club people understand how I type of process things, and they cut me a lot of slack. I mean, I'm just learning to find out now how I process something, you know, that's going on in the world that you must process. I mean, if I had my way, I would lock myself in here constantly. So apart from hospital appointments, which was yesterday, and that was involving hoorie taxis, I would have got me petrol. So I would have, that's what sickens me. I mean, the guys have all been brilliant, you know, they're all really good. Some we know, some we don't. And we went to the hospital. So I was out yesterday. I don't like leaving Max either. He's away upstairs. It depends on my tone, how my tone's coming across, or how I'm coming across. If I'm negative or I'm angry, he knows, and he goes upstairs. He's a big wuss, and I don't know where she, oh, there she is there in the windowsill. So I'm expecting my daughter over to help me go for a bath tonight, which will be nice. Even that, you know, see all the wee things in life that you used to take for granted, because I know I certainly did. I took a lot of things for granted, but I knew they would never be there forever. So I tried, you know, make the most of them while they were here. I knew my time was coming, especially when I lost my mum, and I just touched on that. That was 2019. So I see it's getting now 17 minutes 34. Right. When I had my stroke, by the way, there was a couple of things, you know, people that haven't had strokes or people that have had TIAs, you know, I lost the power of speech, I think the day before or the day of the stroke, when I was over at my daughter's, and I went to say something, and it just came out as a lot of pure bull words that don't even, I don't know, make sense. And we both laughed at it, thinking it was just me. And I never thought twice about it after that. And then I was going upstairs and actually tripped going up the stairs. And Max got a fright, and as I said, he was only 18 months. So all four paws bounced off. So I had this daft, gawky looking Great Dane that was all just legs, and they took off as I got here. So I got a bigger laugh and forgot all about the tripping upstairs. But I later found out they were two signs that I knew of that was building up to something happening. So that night I was in the kitchen about 8:30, and I was in a really bad place between my mum and between the lovely things that happened in 2018. And I will go into it, believe me, I'll go into it. And I was in the kitchen, 8:30 p.m, and I thought I'd make a cup of tea. And I went in to make a cup of tea, and I was waiting for the kettle to boil. You know how sometimes they take ages, but they don't, if that makes sense. And I felt I was leaning on the unit, and my right arm started to slide just like that, and I was going down the way. So I got it and I kind of rubbed my arm, and it seemed to kind of come back. Done it a couple of times to my knowledge of what I can remember. And then I walked over to the fridge, got milk, made tea, done all that. And I went to turn round with the tea. I always carry it in my left hand. I'm back to doing that now, carrying with my left hand. And next thing, I managed to put the tea back up in the unit, mind you, without spilling it. I went down like a ton of bricks, and I went down so hard and onto wooden flooring, I slid right under the table and I knocked myself out. And I came to, and it was like a television screen, coming on when you used to turn the old noise on a TV screen. And that's what it was like. And it was that way where I wakened up under the dining room table, and from where I slid from, it's not a bad distance, and then dunt. I don't really know what knocked me out. And then I couldn't move, not my right side. My right side was paralysed. And I lay there for, I don't know, but I was in my bed. I done everything wrong. As I say, I didn't do fast. I didn't even think I was having a stroke. I thought I'd passed out or something. And I thought, all right, bugger the tea. I'm not, having that. I came in, put all the lights out, and I went upstairs to my bed. Worst thing I could have done. And I went to my bed. I fell asleep straight away. I slept for about 12 hours. And something happened though. I'll go into that at a later date. And so in the morning, my daughter usually pops in, when we would go to school. And that's the morning she didn't, of course, pop in. And I decided to get up. It was about 9:30. And I managed to pull on a pair of joggies. So my arm was working. My leg went into the joggies. And I'd taken my phone up for the first time. Now that's the 2018 story. But that night I decided, because of what happened in the kitchen, in case something happened middle of the night or whatever that I was aware of, I would have my phone. So I went to get up, and next thing, bang, down I went again. But before that though, I still had the abilities to dress myself. And none of this, having to lift my arm or anything like that. It was all, kosher until I went to get up, and next thing, down I went. So I managed to crawl to my bedside cabinet, and I got my phone and phoned my daughter. Well, she was over here, like, two shakes of a lamb's tail. And it was that way where she knew straight away. She knew by my slurring, the way I was talking. And she came over and she helped me. And I wanted to go to the loo. So that's another thing I suffer with, incontinence at night time. That's been going on now for 3 years. And it's something nobody wants to have. Nobody. I can go, sometimes I can go 10 nights, gold stars I call them. They're gold star nights. And then other times, no, it's horrendous. But that, fortunately, it doesn't. I haven't had it. If I go when I need to go, then obviously I'll make it. I've been caught short a few times, and that's not nice. That's embarrassing. It'd be embarrassing, be it I'm a woman or be it I was a man. Imagine a guy trying to get upstairs, an older person, ages with me even, and they can't make it. They wet themselves. Who do you think? Do you think they'd be understanding with that? Now, I'm not putting out there to any men personally. I'm just saying, just the differences about, say as I say, not do as I do, kind of thing. Well, fucking bit of a pun in there, isn't there? There was no pun intended. Anywho, let's get off that. That's what happened. And I'm feeling kind of tired today. So it's that way. See, you can see the tremors in my hand. You know, I haven't tried drying my hair. See that motion in the hair dryer. Everything. That's what I was asking my consultant yesterday as well. For people, fatigue. Apparently, it's something we have to live with now. Even though before we had our stroke, I mean, I was into horses, riding, my bike, everything, all sorts of things. I was really quite healthy for the last 10 years, especially when I quit my vices. You know, I haven't quit them all, but I did quit that main one. So it was just that way where he said to me about the fatigue, that will, and the tightening of muscles. See, like your ankle muscle, your knee muscle, your, maybe not my hip now, but I will have to keep working them. We will have to keep working them. Never give up. And I'll tell you what pulled me through my worst times. Sometimes it can be detrimental. Music. I've always been a big music lover, so right from my tot, I think I came out the womb singing. I'll give you a wee chant sometime. But anyway, I'm going to close this up, and I hope that people around the world, and I say to you, thank you once more. I haven't looked at my YouTube channel this week due to my boy, Johnny the boy, as he's got his song by the Fine Young Cannibals, Johnny Come Home. At least he's with cash now. A dog's not just a dog. Believe me, a cat is just not a cat. Never underestimate them. Never. You may need them sometime, or wish maybe you'd had them. And on that note, ta-ta. Bye-bye. It's my right hand that's trying to turn this swine off.